Ever wondered what really goes on at a sex party? Well, if you've seen Eyes Wide Shut, you ain't seen shit. I've been attending and hosting these spicy parties for almost a decade, and in this video, I'm gonna pull back the velvet curtain on all 50 shades of play. I'm Iseman, a writer, open relationship coach, certified consent and communication specialist, and a registered kink-aware professional. I've been attending and hosting play parties for 300 to 300 guests since 2016, and I was even featured in the New York Times about it. So hold on to your butts, it's about to get spicy. Quick distinction. While I'll be using the term play party in this video to mean the same thing as sex party, they actually aren't always considered synonyms. In some communities, play party means no genital play or penetrative sex, while sex party includes everything. In other communities, play party and sex party are synonymous. So it's a good idea to check and make sure that you're clear on what level of play is welcomed at any event that you're attending, especially if it's your first time at a new party or with a new community. Now, before you bust a nut, let's bust some myths. There's a lot of harmful and straight up bogus misconceptions about sex parties, and while you can certainly have a good or bad experience doing just about anything, anywhere with anyone, I want to shed some light on some of the biggest BS floating around. Anything goes, it's a free-for-all. Actually, boundaries and consent are key, and if you don't honor them, the only action that you'll be getting is a swift kick out the door. You have to have sex. Participation to any degree is always optional. There's plenty of people that come to play parties just for the drinks and conversation. No one bats an eye. It's only for extroverts or kinky people. All kinds attend play parties. That includes introverts and monogamous folks. You don't have to be non-monogamous to attend play parties, and you don't have to attend play parties if you're non-monogamous. Single men aren't allowed. While vetting qualifications might be a little different depending on gender, there are plenty of communities that welcome informed, accountable, and respectful single men. It's unsafe. While there's no such thing as 100% safe sex or 100% safe spaces, safety and consent are given a much higher priority here than elsewhere. And most parties will even provide barriers like condoms, with some even requiring recent proof of STI test results. You need to look a certain way. All body types, ages, and styles are welcome. There's a party for every body. Let's talk about the types of play parties, because not every play party is created equally. There are different types that serve people with various kinds of interests, and within each of those categories, each community has their own personality, and each party can have its own vibe or theme. There's a space for everyone, whether you're a voyeur, exhibitionist, or just curious. Swinger parties often focus on heterosexual couple-based play, ranging from soft swaps or no penetration to full swaps, penetrative genital sex. Hierarchical standards typically prioritize the couple's preferences over any third that they might bring in. Terms like unicorn, which is a single, often bisexual woman who is open to playing with couples, and unicorn hunters, which are couples seeking a third, are commonly used to describe these interactions. Some couples will only play with other couples, and some are open to welcoming a third person. Some will only play together in the same room, while others are open to playing separately. Poly play parties generally emphasize emotional consent, inclusivity, and fluid relationship styles, often with less hierarchy and heteronormativity. They frequently feature fun themes and costumes, fostering a strong sense of community. Fetish parties focus on specific kink and BDSM interests like leather, bondage, and DS or dom-sub dynamics, sometimes featuring demonstrations for newcomers. It's recommended to attend classes beforehand, as these parties can be a bit intense for first-timers. Tantra temple parties emphasize intention, community, and the spiritual aspect of sex as a path to elevated consciousness, focusing on sensation play like touch and sound. Some events may prohibit any kind of penetrative sex, depending on the guidelines. Gender or sexuality-specific play parties are geared towards specific groups like women-only parties, queer parties, and parties specifically for gay men. Cuddle parties are parties where consensual touch is invited, but genital play is not. Sometimes the term play party is used in certain communities to mean cuddle party to distinguish it as not being a sex party. Public versus private play parties. The main differences between public and private play parties are ticketing and vetting practices. Public parties are typically held at established clubs or other public venues. These often have house rules, entry fees, and a wide range of attendees. The venue hosts or party organizers usually handle screening, if any is even done. These events often occur more frequently with a lower barrier to entry and a larger number of guests. They often have a website where tickets are sold and are generally for-profit ventures like sex clubs, hotel takeovers, and spicy cruises. Private parties are smaller, more exclusive gatherings that are often invite-only. There's generally some sort of vetting process that can include an application and interview, often with custom rules and heightened expectations for conduct. If they have any sort of public access point like a website, it's only for application, as there is no ticket purchase available without prior approval and invitation. These can be hosted by a group or a single person or couple. What to expect at a play party. As one of my friends who heads up a large play party community in the Bay Area eloquently says, this is a space of high possibility and low expectation. When you attend or purchase a ticket to a play party, guaranteed sex is not the outcome or what's on offer, unless you're attending events that hire sex workers. Instead, you're gaining entrance into an exclusive space that is both conducive and welcoming to consensual erotic play with others, though it is not guaranteed nor required. Most play parties will have commonalities and available amenities, and often will have a suggested theme to inspire sensual costumes and playful connection. Phones are generally not allowed inside, and there can be cubbies or a coat check area to leave your items. Sometimes they even have a photo booth or red carpet before or after entry. If the party does allow phones inside, you must ask consent of everyone within the frame before taking any photos or videos. Some parties will have creative performances, immersive tasting stations to try things like rope tying or electro play, live music or a DJ with a dance floor, and sometimes even gift bags. I mean, who doesn't love a sex party goodie bag? There will generally be a marked no play area for socializing, along with dark rooms, dungeons, and other designated play areas. The play spaces often have sanitation stations with provided barriers like condoms and dental dams, along with lube and other necessities. Pro tip: always bring your own barriers and sex toys, as they might not have your preferred brand or fit. Food is not the main event at these parties, but many people work up quite an appetite, so plenty of water and often some light nibbles are available. For higher-end ticketed events or invite-only private parties, there's generally an open bar, and less expensive events will often have a cash bar or BYOB option. Don't overindulge here. This isn't your average house party. Drunk and disorderly behavior is a quick way to get kicked out. Consent is key. Just like there's no such thing as 100% safe sex, these are safer spaces that revolve around mutual respect and explicit consent. Most parties will require you to read their consent principles or attend a brief consent workshop or orientation before attending their events. And some will even do a consent talk or presentation at the beginning of the party itself. When it comes to consent, we are responsible for naming our boundaries so that others can then properly respect and honor them. So practice feeling what a yes, a no, and a not now, but maybe later feels like in your body. Now let's talk about a few red flags. Like with anything, there are some red flags to look out for. But remember, if you do happen to run into any of these, it doesn't mean this is what all play parties are like. It just means you're at a shitty play party. A lack of communication around community guidelines like consent practices and standards of safety, including incident reporting. No diversity, whether it's age, sexuality, body type, ethnicity, or anything else. Disorganized, with no support staff or dungeon monitors, or in an unhygienic space. Any sense of pressure or expectations from organizers or other guests. Exceptions being made for organizers or their friends regarding safety standards or accountability. If you think you'd like to attend one of these events and get invited back, here are some tips on important etiquette. If you're single, you can totally go to a play party as a solo man or a solo woman, though there might be slightly different experiences and vetting processes based on gender and the community or the event you're looking to check out. Once you're at the party, if you're a woman approaching a hetero couple, approach and speak to the woman first. Let her be the one to bring her partner into the conversation and take her lead on whether or not to continue engaging with them. And if you're a guy, same goes for you. Approach the man in the partnership and follow his lead. Monkey see, monkey does not necessarily do. Just because you see someone get choked by their partner, that does not mean that you have an invitation to do the same. Consent is a one-on-one agreement unique to each dynamic. You need to get clear consent on what is and isn't welcome directly from anyone that you're playing with, not through a third party, even if that party is their partner. Whether you're attending solo or with a partner or partners, make sure that you respect everyone's privacy and hold a high level of discretion. Don't name anyone you meet out in public. Think of it like Fight Club, but it's Fuck Club. Have a clear idea of your dibs beforehand, your desires, intentions, and boundaries for the evening, and debrief or reflect afterward. Don't drink excessively. Stay in control to prioritize consent. Know what's on your yes, no, and maybe list. Hygiene matters. Look and feel your best. Respect, consent, and communication are the cornerstone of these events. The only expectations are for you to honor everyone's boundaries, including your own. There's a party for everyone if you know how to find it. Now that you have a better idea of what really goes on behind the velvet curtain at these spicy events, do you think you might be ready to check one out? If you want to dive deeper, make sure to subscribe to my channel and check out my play party prep resources in the description below for tips and tools to help you prepare for your first or next play party.